At Kirkland on the season, 40 of 72, 357 yards. He has only thrown, or he has yet to throw a touchdown this season, one interception. He does have a rushing touchdown. Xavier Malone, 262 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns and interception. Last week, Kirkland, 17 of 27 for 108. Malone went 10 of 19 for 82. He had a rushing touchdown in the loss to Georgetown. And again, it's still trying to figure out which one makes this offense move that they can get going. And you look at Alex Sanders and you say, well, you take that guy out of the mix and it certainly changes things up. And one guy's not going to change that much. But you have to give Alex Sanders the credit he's due. He is a part of everything offensively. He's either catching balls from the backfield, carrying the football, and then on the backside of that, he does a really good job in pass protection with blocking to keep those quarterbacks upright and give them an opportunity to go downfield. We know that Kirkland can sling it around with the best, threw for nearly broke the school record in passing yards last season here at Hambly. And this year just has not seemingly felt like he's been able to settle in and do what he wants to do through his progressions. On the backside of things, Xavier Malone, he's a guy that he gives you another element of kind of risk. He will take those high-risk, high-reward throws, but on the backside of that, too, if it goes sideways, it could also be going the other direction for 6 points on the other side. So we'll see who gets the starting nod and how much we see Alex Sanders in this one. Faulkner has won the toss. They want the football to start this football game off. So we're about ready to get things underway here on a beautiful afternoon. Sun is fighting the clouds, trying to stay out for the moment, but a mixture of sun and clouds. 78 degrees kickoff temperature. 87 is the real feel, and probably closer to the mid-90s down on the turf. But the field totally blanketed in sunlight as the Bears try to pick up a win here and even things up at 2-2. Corey Phipps in his third season, 11-12 in his tenure here at Pikeville. And across the way, Rob Gray in his third season, a 12-10 mark for his tenure there in Alabama. Came in out of Jacksonville State, former school for now Colorado head coach Deion Sanders. So back to return for Faulkner is Darius Williams and Ty Simpson. So Austin Shuffler will get ready to send it away as we are ready for football here at Hambly. We'll check scores throughout the game and both NAIA football contest and the top 25 of college football. So Shuffler's ready to put things in motion. So he'll mark off his steps. UPIKE in the orange tops, white bottoms. Faulkner, white tops, blue bottoms. Scheffler will send it right to left as you view it on your screen. We're ready for football here on this Saturday afternoon in Pikeville. And a swing of the leg, and this ball game is underway. Near side it comes and bounces into the end zone for a touchback. So the Eagles will start their first possession. First down and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Nehemiah Broussard, 5'11 freshman, 8 of 16 for 61 yards and 2 picks in the loss to Reinhardt. They split. Ben Anderson as well was in there. 2 out of 9 had 3 yards out of those 2 pass completions. So we'll see how things play out for this team today as they roll out here against a stout defense from this Bears team that's really had a tough slate of things, to say the least. So Jim Mays will start in the backfield. He was not on the depth chart this week. Broussard, high snap, turns, gives it to Mays. Mays finds a big hole off the left side and spins free, and second effort after the spin Gets inside the 30, out to the 30. Let's see if we put it at the 33-yard line. So that's a gain of 8. Makes it second down 2. Malik Murray and Damian Hitchcock come near side. Clay Morrison as the tight end on the wing. 2nd and 2 for the Eagles, a high snap. The give off to Caleb Jones. Jones sweeping to the outside edge and is dragged out of bounds into the Eagles bench, but that'll move the sticks. And an Eagle first down. Brett Coleman leading the charge there. Also Lee Evans, linebacker, redshirt freshman, leads the team, or second on the team with tackles with 12. Move the ball out to the 38-yard line. Still on that far side hash mark. The freshman Broussard will keep his offense in the same set. He'll move Caleb Jones into the right pocket. 4 hats across the line for the Bears. Pressure coming. Broussard gets free. Tries to bounce it to the outside following the lead block of Caleb Jones. A little dance move before getting to the edge. Gets inside the 40 down to the 43. That's a gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Two receivers left, one right now. High snap. Broussard pulls it down. He's going to try to keep it on a busted play, and he gets swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Myson Livingston, 6 foot, 250-pound graduate student out of St. Mary's, Georgia, the pride of Camden County High School. They'll pick up a couple, make it 3rd down and 3 at the 45. They need to motion, get it past the 48. The yard to gain is just past the yard marker of the 48 across the way. So call it about 3 and maybe call it 3.5, if you will, to be able to move the sticks here for this Faulkner team. 4 of 14 on the season, 28.6% in that season opening loss to Reinhardt on 3rd down conversions. Man goes in motion. Broussard on the down, keeps it himself. A nice cut move off the right edge. And then gets stood up at the 49-yard line, but that'll move the sticks. Another first down for the Eagles. So Joe Temp making the stop. Temp, a 6 foot, 195 graduate student out of College Grove, Minnesota, at Park High School. So Broussard will go on a double barrel look this time. TJ Hall and Caleb Jones will flank him each to the side. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Broussard keeps it himself, rolls off left edge, and is stood up after crossing midfield. They'll give him the push of the pile from the 49 all the way down to the 45. So a nice push on the back side of that takes it into a gain of 6 and what looked like was going to be maybe gain of 2 and make it 2nd and 4. Approaching 11 minutes to go here in the opening period. Good drive to start the contest off for this Eagles team, who have yet to try to attempt a pass. Pistol look now for Broussard on 2nd and 4. The give to his tailback. Nice shifty move. Finds a hole right side inside the 40. Brought down in front of the Bears bench as Karan Thrower makes the stop, but that'll move the sticks and another first down. 3rd first down of this drive for the Eagles, who have opened up a nice sustained drive here to open up the contest. Tight end wing, high snap. The give off to his tailback Jones, trying to sweep it to the right, sheds a tackle inside the 30. And shoved off his feet in front of his bench. Timothy Butler, the graduate student out of Plantation, Florida, makes the stop. But they'll move the sticks again. 4th first down of the drive, and the Eagles knocking on the red zone door here to start things off on their opening possession. Approaching 10 minutes to go here on what's going over a 5-minute drive for this Eagles team on this not hot but little muggy afternoon here in Pikeville. 78 degrees, 87 real feel. Play clock's at 8 as Broussard will reset. He'll move his tight end Morrison off to the right wing. The take to give, that's off to Jones, and he's swallowed up off the right edge. In there on the stop was Chuck Moore. Joe Temp in there on the stop as well. Make it 2nd down and 10, no gain on the play. Broussard puts Jones in the right hip. The take to give to Jones, and he is hammered in the hole as he gets there. Lee Evans meets him at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 2. Make it 3, they'll take it to the 24. So make it 3rd down and 7 inside of 9 to go here in the opening period. D. Grisham in the backfield now. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Morrison as the tight end on the wing right side. Bears showing blitz. Here they come. Broussard rolling out. Surveying, looking, fires toward the end zone. A ball is caught. Malik Murray goes up and hauls it in. And a 24-yard touchdown strike from Nehemiah Broussard. His first touchdown of the season. And with 8:24 to go here in the opening period, a nice sustained drive for the Eagles. They take an early 6-0 lead. Bears showed blitz and came with the pressure. Broussard rolling out and made a good throw to Murray in double coverage as he hauls in his first catch of the season, and it goes for the 6. Extra point is up and through. 7-0 our score. 8:24 to go in the first. Back after this on the UPIKE Sports Network. .24 to go here in the opening period, and the Eagles go 11 plays, 75 yards, 6 minutes, 26 seconds. 6 minutes, 36 seconds, excuse me, for the opening touchdown, a 24-yard strike from Nehemiah Broussard to Malik Murray. Jordan Browley booms it to the 6. That's Ukiah Baker. Nice cut back and in is wrapped up after crossing the 20. Great open field tackle there. As reaching out and making the stop there was Skylar Henderson. So 5 first downs for the Eagles on that opening drive. Attempted only the 1 pass, and that was the one that went for 6. So Lee Kirkland will start at quarterback. Alex Sanders makes his return. They'll start in a Twins stacked look. Sanders in the left pocket. Sanders takes, gives off to Sanders, and he falls down as he tries to make his cut in the hole right in front of Ja'Kai Stevens, junior defensive tackle.
That carry gives Sanders the most carries in school history.
And that carry right there puts Alex Sanders in the record books. He now is the all-time leader for carries as a member of a Bear. So he continues to rewrite the record books with his name, and those are going to continue for sure for the graduate student. Play clock's at 10 as Kirkland makes an adjustment, looking at 5 cats across the line. Another give. They fake this time. Kirkland keeps it himself, and a little baseball slide at the 30. He'll pick up 8 and make it 3rd down and 3 after the loss of 1 by Sanders on that last carry. UPIKE on the season, 42.6% on 3rd down tries, 20 of 47. Wide side of the field's left for Kirkland on 3rd and 3. Wants to throw, zips it out to Sanders. Sanders with first down yardage and more, lowers the shoulder at the 40 and is pushed out of bounds into the Eagles bench. Move the sticks, and a Bears first down. They'll take him out to the 38-yard line on a gain of 8 on that play. The Bears want to go quickly. Twin stack set. Kirkland zips it out to the far sideline. He's got his man there. As hauling it in there is Derek Griffith, a graduate student out of Sacramento, California. Griffith last week, 4 catches for 11 yards, has 11 catches for 95 on the season. Led the team last year in the win with 6 catches for 89. Sanders sheds a tackle midfield, hits the B button 45 and takes it down inside of Eagles territory down to the 43. And this is the offense you expect to see from UPIKE. Load it up and let's go. And a high snap. And before they get it away, across the way, Rob Gray says, we got to slow things down and get this thing moving in the pace that we want to see. This is the first time this season I've seen this offense go to where it looks like it's in fast forward. And that's what you typically see from a Coach Corey Phipps-led team. But certainly not the way that this Faulkner team wanted to see things on the other side after they went down the field and were able to come up with 6 on a long sustained drive. But on the backside of that, the Bears taking this right down the field, and a lot of that coming from the resurgence and the return of number 26, Alex Sanders. So back underway, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Kirkland firing this one out toward the far sideline, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Derek Griffith. Well defended on the far side edge. As Elliott Shorter was there in pass protection, so no gain on the play, 2nd and 10, clock resting, 6:12 to go here in the first. 7-0 Faulkner. Braylon Barton goes in motion, and as the ball goes over top of Kirkland's head, we get a penalty marker. And a false start on the Bears. UPIKE on the season have been flagged 24 times, averaging 77.3 a game. And they'll be behind the sticks now, looking at 2nd and 15 from the Eagles' 48-yard line, right between the hashes on that Pikeville P logo. Hardwick and Barton near side, Griffith and Henson far side. Now, Amari Hardwick will go into the slot in the near side. Kirkland from the gun on 2nd and 15. Good pass protection. Slings it out near side. He's got Braylon Barton who makes the catch at the 45. It's only a gain of a couple as they'll take him down to the 45-yard line and makes it 3rd down and long, 3rd and 11. They'll go trips right, 1 left. That's Hardwick. Sanders turns, zips this one out to the far sideline. He's got his man there of Derek Griffith, but a low throw got him tangled up, and they blow the play up for a loss. Avion Morgan leading the charge there off the corner. And it's going to be 4th down from midfield, near midfield, back to the 47-yard line, and the offense staying on the field. 46.2% of the time, This Bears team has converted 6 out of 13 on the season. And Kirkland's just going to do a little pooch kick. We've seen that before in his time here. Gets a good bounce, and the Bears are going to come up golden on this one as he makes it bounce at the 4 and then puts a little backspin on it back to the 7. So the Bears stall out offensively, but Kirkland with a good kick pins the Eagles back on their own 7-yard line. So 8 plays for the Bears, but they come away with nothing to show. So the Eagles leading 7-0 with the shadow of their own end zone on their back as the freshman Nehemiah Broussard brings his crew out. He'll start with Jim Mays in the backfield. Morrison will start on the wing right side as the tight end. 2 wide right, 1 left. The take to give. No, the play action, slinging it toward the far sideline. They were looking for Josiah Scott, 210, 6'4" freshman. Passes incomplete, 2nd and 10. Broussard there with a good play action fake. And a lot of that is sold because of the ability of how they were able to run the football at the beginning part of their first drive. So May stays in the backfield, an offset pistol look. 3 hats across the line for the Bears. The take to give to Mays. Mays shifts right and stonewalled as he gets hammered in the hole by Levi Evans again. Malona Poole also there on the stop. So make it 3rd down and 9 after the gain of 1. Wholesale line changes for the Bears defense. They'll roll Jay Arnold out there and Amonte Altman to shore up that front 3. Trayvon Barnett will anchor the left side. Broussard wants to throw on 3rd down, stands in the pocket, fires a rocket down the middle of the field and was well too far. Was looking for Damian Hitchcock. So the Bears defense holds and forces a punt coming up from the Eagles. 8 punts for averaging 34 yards for this Eagles team. Caden Davis will kick it away, the 5'10 senior. He'll send it back to Braylon Barton, who stands at midfield. An opportunity for the Bears to get great field position here. If Barton can field it cleanly and get a little bit of a return. Either way, even a fair catch at this, unless they get a good one away, which they don't. They do hang it. It's going to allow Barton to run under it at the 46. A nice little shift move, comes near sideline, and is wrapped up at the 40. So a short field coming up for the Bears, trailing 7-0, 4:02 to play in the opening period. I would be shocked if the Bears don't come out right here and try to go up top for a home run ball and stick this one in the end zone and even this game up at 7. Griffith and Henson go far side. Hardwick and Barton near side. Sanders in the right pocket of Kirkland. Seven in the box as Kirkland tries to swing it out towards Sanders and just slings it at his feet. Ty Simpson was the man chasing Sanders. It was thrown closer to him than Alex Sanders. So clock resting with 3:49 to play in the opening period. It's 2nd down and 10. I guess the clock did not stop where the officials thought it should, so they're going to move it back to 3:57. Same set for Kirkland. Barton goes in the slot on the near sideline. He'll empty out the backfield, zips it out near sideline. He's got B.B. Barton here in front of his bench, catches it at the 33, and then Laundrie coming late. Did the official throw the penalty marker or not? He was reaching for it. I never saw it go up in the air. So he must have held on to it, but either way, it'll move the sticks. Third first down of the ball game for the Bears. Down to the 27-yard line. Kirkland on 1st and 10. The take to give to Sanders. Sanders right off the left edge of the center inside the 25. Take him down to the 22. A gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Ethan Coachman, freshman defensive lineman, making the stop there. Kirkland's got a free play, but no, they're going to say it was dead because the contact was made up front. So neutral zone infraction against the Eagles will move the sticks unless they were drawn off. We're waiting for our official to make the signal so we know which direction we're going. And it was a neutral zone infraction. So the 5-yard penalty will give the Bears a fresh set of downs. So move it down inside the orange zone for the Bears. They'll have it at the Eagles' 17-yard line. 1st and 10 as we approach 3 minutes to play here in the opening period. Eagles in front 7-0. Bears trying to answer on this drive after forcing a 3-and-out. Kirkland puts Barton in motion. The take to give to Sanders, and Sanders stonewalled in the backfield. Miles Boyd in there, also coming off the bottom of the pile was Jarrell Williamson, 5'11 junior, out of that secondary. Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12. Barton and Hardwick near side on the boundary left. Benson and Griffith wide right. Kirkland rolling out right, comes back to the near sideline. He's got his man there of Barton. Barton pinballing off of a man after making the catch inside the 20. He'll get the 16 on a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and long. Emmanuel Olathian making the stop. Freshman middle linebacker, 6'1", 245 pounds. So 3rd and 9. Coming up for the Bears. Sanders in the left pocket this time of Kirkland. Who wants to throw? Pressure coming, setting up the screen. Sanders has blockers out in front. A nice little cut at the 10. A shimmy shake to the 5, and it's going to be 1st and goal for the Bears after Alex Sanders made a nice move at the 15 to cut back inside and found the little opening to get down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. And again, that's what we've talked about so much with what Alex Sanders brings to the table, is just how much pressure he puts on the defensive side of things to try to slow him down. 1st and goal, the take to give to Sanders. He jumps through the hole off the left edge and picks up a couple. 2nd and goal from the 3. Miles Boyd, initial contact on the stop. Grant Scott coming on as a tight end. Also coming into the backfield is Cade Cradleball. So 2 tight ends in front of Kirkland with Sanders in his right pocket. Now they'll go up to the double look. Sanders off the right edge, and no gain on the play. 3rd and goal from the 3 in the final 30 seconds to go in the opening period. Here comes Tyrese Christensen in as Sanders will check out. Let's see if the Bears elect to try to snap it one last time here in the first quarter. On this 3rd down and goal. Plenty of time on the play clock for Kirkland. Game clock's at 6. The handoff to Christensen. He dives right through the middle and stonewalled again. So it'll be 4th and goal on the other side of the break as we go to the second quarter. Faulkner leading UPIKE 7-0. Back after this on the UPIKE Sports Network. 7-0, excuse me, as we welcome you back here to Hambly Athletic Complex. Bears are going to attempt a field goal, so Jake Headley will try it from the far side hash mark at the 12, so a 22-yard kick. Joseph Sandorf will put it down. Kick is up and is good. So 7-3 as the Bears elect for the 3 points. But the 10th time inside the red zone for the Bears this season, only the 7th time that they've come away with points, but now 6 of 10 on touchdown drives into the red zone. So a long sustained drive for the Bears that look very promising that stalls out as they are forced to take a field goal try, but they're on the board and they trail at 7-3 here with 4 seconds into quarter number 2. Top 25 football action. Florida State in a war right now with Boston College, the third-ranked Seminoles, tied at 10. Number 7 Penn State leads Illinois 13-0. Number 14 LSU leading Mississippi State 17-0. And it's Missouri in front of number 15 Kansas State 17-14. All those games in the second period. So Shuffler will boom it away. Dominic Blair near side. Far side is Darius Williams. We'll see if the defense can stand tall once again and get the football back to the offense. It looked like it was starting to find a little bit of rhythm before stalling out there inside the 5-yard line and had to settle for 3. Good kick. And goes 3 yards deep into the end zone and out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Touchback ball being placed on the 25-yard line where it will be 1st and 10. Eagles.
So the last drive. Oh, we got a penalty marker down. I just see at the 49-yard line. Last drive, 9 plays, 36 yards, 4 minutes, 6 seconds. So an illegal formation on UPIKE. So they'll move the football from the 25 out to the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles from that mark on a sun-drenched field here in Pikeville with a little bit of a breeze starting to dance around from that north end zone. Caleb Jones in the left pocket of Broussard from the gun on 1st and 10. The high snap, the give to Jones. Jones trying to stretch it to the right side. Sheds a tackle for the moment. Stays on his feet and then picks up a couple on the back side of it. Chuck Moore was there first, but he slipped through his fingertips as Moore was going to get him for probably at least at the line of scrimmage, but he gets loose and gets to the 33-yard line. So a gain of 3 makes it 2nd and 7. 30 seconds gone here in the second period. Eagles in front by 4. Jarvis Hardwick in the slot on the near side with Malik Murray, who got that opening touchdown. Broussard on 2nd down. Sticks in the midst of his tailback, Caleb Jones, and this time he is stonewalled. Amonte Altman and Chuck Moore combined for the stop. They'll give him 1 yard on the forward momentum. No, excuse me. He'll lose a couple back to the 29, my mistake. So 3rd down and 11 coming up, and a great opportunity here for the Bears to force back-to-back 3-and-outs if they can get a stop here. Mays will shift into the left side of Broussard on a twin set. He wants to throw. Pressure coming. Fires it across the middle. Had his man there of Jarvis Hardwick, but couldn't haul it in. And it brings up 4th down. Nice job there by the defense. Hardwick had inside position. And Broussard, just as the pocket was collapsing around him, got rid of it maybe just a second early. and did not allow Hardwick to run underneath it. So Caden Davis will try to hang one high. Braylon Barton back to return. Rugby style kick as he sends it to the far sideline. And it takes a bounce favoring the Eagles before tumbling out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Now they'll say that to 30. So the Bears will get the football back on their own 30-yard line. 13:21 to go before halftime and trailing 7-3.
Ball be placed on the 30-yard line. First and 10, Bears.
Lee Kirkland so far 1 for... And that's stats have, there we go, 6 of 8 for 33 yards in the ball game. Barton with 3 catches for 19. Kirkland remains in the ball game. Sanders returns. Play action. Kirkland brings it out near sideline and has his man Ben Henson who drops it. Henson was on a little up and out route on the near side flat. Could not haul it in. Sanders, 7 carries for 26 in the ball game thus far. Again, what he does offensively just makes teams have to scheme with what you have to account for what he does. 7 hats in the box right now for the Eagles. 4 hats across the line. Those 2 of those linebackers rolling up. They send a blitz up the middle. They'll dump it out to Sanders on the far sideline, and he tight ropes the far sideline. He'll step out at the 37, so it's a gain of 7, makes it 3rd down and 3. Clock resting, 13:11 to go here in the second.
3rd down and 3.
Bears with 5 first downs in the ball game. Need 3 to move. Free play for Kirkland. He'll send it off to the far sideline. Trying to make a comebacker there was Amari Hardwick. But the infraction will give the Bears a new set of downs as Kirkland got the man to jump. Dasani Tate checking into the ball game, his first action. And joining him there also is Yukari Baker. They'll start in a trips look wide right. Sanders goes left of Kirkland on 1st down and 10 from the 42 of the Bears. Eagles rush 4. Kirkland zips it near sideline. Braylon Barton at the 45, 50. A nice jump cut and a spin move as he's wrestled out of bounds in front of his bench. Jarrell Williamson, 5'11 junior, making the stop. But another first down for the Bears as they get down inside Eagles territory to the 43-yard line. And then Sanders with a dive forward off the right edge to the 39-yard line, gain of 4. So make it 2nd and 7. Twin stack look now for Kirkland. Last pass play went for 15 to move the sticks. Kirkland on 2nd down, wants to throw, pumps. Got his man wide open as Ben Henson makes the catch at the 15, and reservations for 6 to the house. Ben Henson, Kirkland's first passing touchdown of the season, and the Bears take the lead here with 11:47 to go in the half. It's 9-7 UPIKE. 39-yard pitch and catch from Lee Kirkland to Ben Henson as Kirkland got the secondary to bite on the pump, and Henson was wide open on the back end. So Jake Headley for the extra point to put the Bears in front by 3 here early on in the second quarter of play. Joseph Sandorf sets it down. Kick is up, splits the uprights. 10-7 our score. 11:47 to play in the half. Back after this on the UPIKE Sports Network. 10-7 with 11:47 to go in the ballgame. 5 plays, 71 yards, 1 minute, 34 seconds off the clock. And that last pass, Lee Kirkland's first touchdown of the season through the air, a 39-yarder to Ben Henson. And the Bears take the lead. They've scored 10 unanswered, and they lead at 10-7. Darius Williams, far side. Near side is Dominique Blair. They'll send it to Williams. He'll field it at his 6. Far side, 10, 20. Sheds a tackle, 25, and then gets hammered off his feet on the far sideline after getting out near the 40. Tyrese Christensen making the stop. So they'll put the football at the 37-yard line. First down and 10 for the freshman Numaya Broussard.
38-yard line, first and 10.
Broussard, the high give, pulls it out of the midst of his tailback Jim Mays, and he is stonewalled on the near sideline. Poole, Evans, and Brett Coleman with the trio of the tackle. That takes it down to the 35 and a loss of 2.
Second down and 12.
Broussard, after his first pass attempt in the ball game for the touchdown, has missed his last 3. Kirkland 9 of 12 in the ball game for 95 yards. And he just looks more comfortable in the pocket and on the field with Alex Sanders standing there beside of him. Just a different looking Kirkland. Broussard rolling out right, now comes back. Nice move at the 35, and then is brought out of bounds. Had a hold of the face mask of Timothy Butler. Maybe got away with a face mask on the offensive side of things. He's forced down at the 41. That's a gain of 6. That'll make it third down and 6. Eagles 2 for 3 on third down tries here this afternoon. Run a man in late. TJ Hall will come into the ball game. Jim May stays in the backfield. Hall will check in as a wing to the right. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Now Broussard had Mays moving, wants him to stay. Play action. Pressure coming up the middle. Broussard rolling out near sideline, throwing across his body a floated ball that goes up and is broken up. Brett Badman Coleman, Mr. Bad Intentions, with a beautiful pass break up in front of the Bears bench as they were trying to float it into Hitchcock. And 3 consecutive 3-and-outs now the defense has forced. And they'll get the football back, leading 10-7 inside of 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Coleman out of Belfry made a beautiful play there on a ball that was just a little bit underthrown. You have to think that Broussard having to throw across his body, rolling out left, had a lot to do with that. We'll see if Barton can get another one. End-over-end kick that'll check up inside the 30-yard line and tumble out of bounds inside the 25 on the far side at the 23. And penalty marker on the near side in front of UPIKE's bench. Stay tuned with us. During the half, we'll check all the scoring stats of this one. Games around the area, NAIA. Bring you the coverage of the band on the field as well as the cheerleaders and the dance team. Give everybody some love here for all the stuff going on at the football game, as well as my crew today. Our executive producer, David Chapman, working with us today. Also, Zach Meek and Maggie Purvis with me each and every week here, and they do a phenomenal job with everything they do here on the UPIKE Sports Network. So an illegal shift on Faulkner. Coach Corey Phipps there doing a little nice gesture, picking up the official's flag and carrying it to him. I've seen him do other things with flags in times. That wasn't quite so nice. Coach Phipps says he's done a phenomenal job here trying to get this team and this program moving in a forward direction, and he feels like they're right on the cusp of making that next step forward. They just need to find a way to get over the hump of, like the game last week against Georgetown, of being able to go up against a team that is ranked and you have those opportunities of causing that upset, but just not being able to get past it. And he said last week they felt like they played 3 quarters of football instead of 4. And they trailed 7-0 at the half, 21-7 after 3, and lose that football game 35-14. So Kirkland on first down and 10 from his own 28. Wants to throw it. Zips it near side. He's got his man there of Barton, and a great open field tackle in front of the Bears bench. Avion Morgan, the junior, follows Barton up and takes him down at the 31-yard line. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Hardwick and Barton stay far side. Benson and Griffith stack it up near side. Sun still fighting to get through the clouds, is drenching the field for the moment in that sunlight. Blitz coming off the right edge, so we'll zip it out near side, and Kirkland overthrows his man. He was looking for Derek Griffith. Clock will rest with 9:10 to go in the first half. 3rd and 7 coming up for the Bears. Three out of 5 on 3rd down tries here this afternoon. Averaging only 313 yards of total offense this season, and that's just not a typical team that's led by Coach Corey Phipps. 5 hats across the line. They send 4. Kirkland in the pocket, firing for a home run ball. He's got his man there inside the 40 as Ben Henson makes a great move to get inside position. As Kalen Wimbish was there on great coverage, but Ben Henson with another big catch moves the sticks in a UPIKE first down. Kirkland fires this out to the far sideline. He's got his man there of Barton, who grabs it and picks up a couple before being forced out of bounds in front of the Eagles bench. Darius Williams, defensive back on the far sideline, shoves him out after a gain of 2 down to the 33-yard line. Now they'll bring Barton in the backfield in that position that typically is occupied by Diego Soto. They'll flush him out, they'll pump, and he'll just throw it away. Kirkland didn't see what he wanted. They were trying to go with that wheel route and a little swing pass out to Barton. And nothing happens there, so it's 2nd down and 9 from the 33-yard line. Or check that, 3rd down and 9, my mistake. Sanders stays in the right pocket of Kirkland. 4 hats across the line for the Eagles, showing blitz off the edge. They send 3. Kirkland pumps, floats it. Henson wide open near sideline, and he drags the toe. Does he get him in? Inside the 10, he does. Great job there by Ben Henson, the junior out of Lehman, South Carolina, the pride of James Barnes High School. He is having himself a half, and it's 1st and goal from the 6. Kirkland zips it near side. He's got Barton there. Barton whips free. Diving to the end zone. Is he in? Call it a touchdown. Braylon Barton, touchdown Bears. Braylon Barton holds it in and makes a dynamite move. Squirts free and dives into the end zone. Lee Kirkland's 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears have scored 16 unanswered, and they lead this one 16-7 with 7:52 to go in the half. That was one heck of a move there by Barton after looking like he was going to be wrapped up at the 5 for possibly a loss. Squirts free and in reversed angles and found a hole and just makes a dive to the end zone. Extra point is up. Is good. 17-7 our score. Back after this on the UPIKE Sports Network. 17-7, 7:52 to go in the opening half. Lee Kirkland throws his second touchdown of the afternoon to Braylon Barton, his first of the season. And the Bears have scored 17 unanswered to take a 10-point lead here with 7:52 to go in the half. Speaking of Ben Henson, he's having an afternoon already. 3 catches for 102 yards and 39, his longest. That's more than double than what he had coming into this game. Had caught only 3 balls for 55 yards. His longest was 36. So now Shuffler looks like he's setting up for a little pooch kick, and he will do so. They'll come near sideline, and a fair catch signified for at the 30 by Marvin Payton. And they'll back him up to the 29-yard line. So that last drive for the Bears, 7 plays, 72 yards, 1 minute, 52 seconds. So 2 sustained drives under 2 minutes, both going to the end zone for touchdowns, and that signifies what you expect to see from UPIKE football. Get it and go. It's like a Formula One race. Just try to hang on and don't get run over in the process of it. UPIKE has snapped it 29 times for 204 yards compared to Faulkner's 20 for 88. So Broussard down 10 after 17 unanswered by this UPIKE team. Gives it off to Jim Mays up the gut, jumps it out to the right, and grabs 3 out to the 37-yard line, 2nd and 7. Mays had not attempted any carries coming into this ball game. They were held to 64 yards in the loss to Reinhardt in that game they played back on August the 31st. Broussard turns. There's nobody home. It's a broken play. He'll take it off to the right side and try to dive forward and at least get back to the line of scrimmage. He turned left. Mays went right, and there was nobody home. And now they're having a conversation about the broken play as it makes it 3rd down and 7 as Broussard does get back to the line of scrimmage for no loss. Lots of programs being turned into fans and umbrellas in the stands today as the sun beaming down here in Pikeville. As the Bears try to force their 4th consecutive 3-and-out against the Eagles, who went right down the field in the opening drive and found 7, and they have been in kind of backward motion since then. And before they get this one, Rob Gray will burn a timeout with 6:31 to go in the half. And it's a great opportunity for UPIKE. If they could score again on a stop here, they get the football to start the second half as well. Check scores around college football top 25. Florida State, 3rd in the nation, has pulled away from Boston College, 31-10. 8:18 to go into 3rd. Number 7, Penn State in front of Illinois, early 3rd quarter, 16-7. Number 14, LSU leading Mississippi State 27-7 midway through the 3rd. Number 15, Kansas State has regained the lead over Missouri, 24-17, late 3rd quarter. Utah just getting underway with Weber State. They lead that one 7-0 with 8:28 to go in the 1st. UPIKE will be off next week, and then they'll start AAC conference play 2 weeks following with a visit from the Union Bulldogs. As they try today to get back to even 500 through their first 4 contests. 3rd and 7 out of the break. Broussard, play action. Floats it out to his big tight end of Clay Morrison. He's got 1st down yardage and more. Lee Evans will jump on his back and wrestle him to the ground near midfield. He'll be just shy of the midfield stripe at the 49, make it back to the 48. So a gain of 11 on the play and a fresh set of downs for Faulkner. Here's Mays, takes the high handoff, gets stood up in the wall. Meeting him there was Anthony Grant, the junior out of Augusta, Georgia. He'll put the football at the Bears 48, so a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Faulkner now with 7 first downs in the ball game. And the first time they've been back in UPIKE territory since their opening drive. 17-7 our score, 5.5 to go before the break. Broussard with Caleb Jones in the backfield again. Bears showing blitz off the edge. Here they come. Broussard rolling out and throws it away. He looked up and saw a face full of Joe Temp chasing him down like a laser beam. And he just took that one to the outside edge and slings it into the bench, stopping the clock with 5:12 to play in the opening half, and makes it 3rd down 6. They've had Broussard on the move since that opening drive, rolling out a couple of players and bringing some new ones back in. TJ Hall and Damian Hitchcock will return. Play clock's inside of 10 as Broussard gets his troops set in a twins look. Wants to throw on 3rd down. Steps up in the pocket, rolling out, being chased as Ben Tate was the man applying the pressure, as he'll sling this one away and make it 4th down. Tate leading the team in tackles with 13, tied with Tiernan Berry at 1.5 tackles for loss and a fumble recovery on the season. So Caden Davis will send it away once again, as Faulkner's last 4 drives have all ended in punts. And a penalty marker flies on the back end of it as Dasani Tate makes contact with the kicker. Now the question is, was it roughing or running into? Let's check in with our official and see what we get from this one. $17-7 our score. Our officials getting together to determine the outcome of the infraction. Defense is back on the field for UPIKE. It's a question you run into. If it's running into the kicker, it's only 5. Roughing the kicker's 15. All right, so it's just running into the kicker, so just a 5-yard version of it, and it's 4th and inches now. So the nose of the football is about 3 or 4 chain links shy of the distance to gain, and the offense is coming back on the field for the Eagles. 0 for 2 on 4th down tries this season. Bears defensively have allowed 4th down conversions 57% of the time. Let's see if Broussard stays out of gun or crawls up under center. Bears loading the line. Broussard gives it off to his tailback of Caleb Jones, and Jones makes a nice move up the gut and inside the 40 and moves the 6 down to the 38. Gain of 4, 1st and 10. 8th first down of the ball game for the Eagles. Now they want to go quickly. Caleb Jones churning the legs and gets stood up at the 35. Lee Evans was there also. Landon Hammock, redshirt freshman out of Pikeville. And an illegal substitution on UPIKE. So they'll move it forward 5 and make it 1st and 5. They'll move the football down to the 33-yard line for the Eagles, trailing 17-7 after opening the ball game with 7 on an 11-play drive that ate up over 6:30 of the ball game. This will be the 7th play of the drive coming up here on this snap for them. The give to Jones. Jones with a head of steam off right edge. A nice little move after he gets to the 30-yard line. Bounces to the outside. They'll take him down to the 27-yard line. So a gain of 6. Handoff to Jim Mays. He'll run that same path that Jones followed on the previous play. Give him the 23-yard line. 2nd down. We've got Garrett Orr now as that wing. Mays with a sweep right. And swept off his feet by Jarquez Russ. Graduate out of Tarmac, Florida. So take it at the 19. Gain of 4 makes it 3rd down and 3. Hitchcock and Murray comes near side. Jason Gaddis on the far side. Play clock's at 5. Broussard trying to milk out every moment he can. Play action, zips it out to his man, Gaddis, who makes a nice cut back in after making the grab at the 15 and gets down to the 10, and it'll be 1st and goal. And a player down for the Bears on the far sideline at the end of the play. Ben Tate, graduate student out of Spartansburg, South Carolina. So the Eagles, 11 plays, 75 yards, 636 in the opening possession. And Malik Murray hauled in a 24-yard touchdown strike from Nehemiah Broussard. That was both the first of the season for those two. Extra point is good, 7-0, 8:24 to go in the first. UPIKE stalled out, had to elect to go for a field goal. A Jake Headley 22-yard kick with 4 seconds gone into the second period. UPIKE's on the board. They trail at 7-3. Lee Kirkland goes to Ben Henson, wide open, 39 yards into the end zone. 5 plays, 71 yards, a minute 34 off the clock. Extra point is good. It's 10-7 Bears. Bears force a 3 and out. Offense goes back to work. Lee Kirkland, a minute 59 to go, 72 yards and 7 plays. Braylon Barton with a plunge forward from 4 yards out. Extra point is true, 17-7. 7:52 to go at that moment. We've got 2:24 to play here before halftime. The Bears leading by 10, but the Eagles facing 1st and goal from the 10 after the injury timeout here of Ben Tate. Not hot, but very humid and muggy. Not a lot of wind to speak of. Looking up into the hillside here to the north end of the complex, and every once in a while you'll see the flags dance away from the mast on the uprights, but the trees very still. Get a little bit of a breeze here and there, but a mixture of sun and clouds of certainly keeping this a very muggy afternoon. Tate jogs off onto his own accord to the near sideline. That's certainly a good thing to see. So the Eagles are going to bunch it up in a heavy set now as Broussard's going to crawl up under center in a power I. Handoff to Jones, sweeping right, and there's nothing there. Nice job there by the Bears defense as Jarquez Russ made the stop, make it 2nd and goal from the 10. 2 minutes to play in the half. Tight end left as Clay Morrison will attach. They'll put Garrett Orr as the fullback. Caleb Jones will dot the I as Broussard goes back under center again. Play action, rolling out left, trying to run and find a hole. And he is forced out of bounds into the Bears sideline as Timothy Butler sealed the edge and didn't allow him to get free. It's 3rd and goal. Butler with great field vision on that one, as they're going to lose all the way back to the 16. So a loss of 6 makes it 3rd and goal. And now they're going to go back into their kind of passing offense, if you will. So the Bears will roll out some new faces as well on that defensive line and bring in a nickelback, Brett Coleman. Also out there is Karan Thrower. And timeout requested by the Eagles. So that's their 3rd and final timeout with 94 seconds to play here in the opening half. Let's check scores from around NAI football. Some other games that are playing today, as soon as I can get the scoreboard to load. Reinhardt is at the Cumberlands. UPIKE has Reinhardt coming up on its schedule. They go to Reinhardt on October the 7th. Back here against Union on the 30th. Homecoming on the 14th against KCU, and then the final home game against Point on the 28th. So 3rd and goal from the 16 for the Eagles, trailing 17-7 with 94 seconds to play in the half. Out of the timeout, Jim Mays returns into the backfield. They'll go 3 receivers wide right, 1 left. Broussard, pressure coming off the edge, steps up in the pocket, and he can't get free. Anthony Grant gets home, and the rest of the Bears' front 3 join in the charge. Jay Arnold and Myson Livingston gets the stop. Coach Corey Phipps runs out to the hash marks to call the timeout. So a big loss again, pushes it back to the 21. That's a loss of 5. And Caden Davis will come out and attempt a field goal to try to cut the lead to 7 before the Bears get the football back. Apparently, UPIKE has burned a timeout to make certain everybody knows exactly what is going on with this one before they get moving forward. Davis will line up for the field goal attempt. He's got the only points on the season for the team as they were hammered up 36-3. The field goal that he hit was 23 yards. So near side hash mark from the 28, so a 38-yard kick for the senior. Kicking toward the indoor practice facility in the south end zone. Ball is back, it's down, kick is up, and that one is good. Just over the crossbar. So Faulkner settles for 3. It's a 7-point lead for the Bears with 1:18 and 2 timeouts remaining here in the opening half. Cumberland's leading Reinhardt 10-7. Bethel, Tennessee in front of Bluefield 20-0. Lindsey Wilson leading Point 9-0. That game early in the first half. Later tonight, KCU is at Cumberland. That game at 7. KCU comes here on October the 14th for homecoming night on a 7 p.m. kickoff. Should be a beautiful evening for football. They're in the middle part of October. So the offense has been able to go quickly in its last 2 drives. It's found points. Can they do it again here with roughly around a minute 13, minute 14 probably remaining, and 2 timeouts? Jordan Brownlee is going to kick it away. I would not be shy or surprised if they try to keep this one in play to make certain that they do have to trickle off some time off the clock. Brownlee's approach. Short kick. Baker will run under to the 11. 20, big hole 25. Pinballs off a man 30, spins free, squirts forward, and pushes out near the 40. So Yukari Baker with a good return gets it out to the 40. So 68 seconds to go in the half. 2 timeouts for the Bears and a chance to add to their 7-point lead. They'll have the football to start the second half as well. The last drive for Faulkner, 8 plays, 22 yards, 6 minutes and 34 seconds that they burned off the clock. So 2 drives that they have consumed over 6.5 minutes, both of those finding points. So Lee Kirkland, 3 receivers wide right, 1 left, Sanders in the backfield. 4 hats across the line for the Eagles. Sanders goes out of the backfield. Kirkland pumps, dumps it out to Barton, and Braylon Barton, makes the catch at the 40, falls forward to the 41, a gain of 1 second and 9. Tried to set up a little wide receiver screen, and Eagles snuffed that one out nicely. 1 high safety. Kirkland, plenty of time to throw, has his man wide open on the far sideline, and it's off the fingertips of Amari Hardwick as he overthrows him. It'll be 3rd down and 9, 41.2 seconds to go in the half. Did a little up and out route there, and Hardwick and Kirkland could not get connected. So Dasani Tate checks in. Hardwick comes to the sideline. So from their own 41, they need midfield to move the sticks. Kirkland, pocket collapsing, steps up. He's going to try to run for it. Lowers the shoulder and rolls off a man at the 45. UPIKE will burn a timeout with 34 seconds to go. And it's going to be 4th and 5 coming up. Let's see if UPIKE tries to go for it here on 4th down. They've been very good on 3rd down. They were 5 of 7 coming up on that try there before Kirkland has stopped short of the markers. Have not attempted a 4th down here today. They're 6 of 13 on the season. 46.2%. But offensively, they have been somewhat back to normal, averaging only 313 yards of total offense through their first 3 games. 29 plays for 204 starting this drive. Make it 32 for 209 now, averaging 6.53 a play. And the offense, for the moment, stays on the field. Now, Kirkland does have that option to do a little pooch kick, and we've seen that from him before. And usually right before he gets ready to do it, as he takes the snap, he'll take about a step and a half backward. And he'll start really deep to make certain that he's got enough room to pooch that one high in the air. And as if they're just going to try to draw them off here, he'll turn to the sideline with 16 on the play clock. So 4th and 5. Kirkland's going to throw for it. Pressure coming off the edge. Brings it near side. Coming back, trying to make the catch was Derek Griffith, but he could not get there. The pass falls incomplete, and with 28.7 seconds left to go in the half, the Eagles get the football back inside of Bears territory at their 45-yard line. So now a couple of plays from possibly being back in field goal range for the Eagles. If you can find a way to get it down into the range of Caden Davis. He hit the last one from 38. It was probably sure from about 40. So you'd want to get the ball down somewhere around inside the 25 to give him an opportunity to swing the leg and cut the deficit to 4 going in. Burchard and a trips look. Wants to throw on 1st and 10. Pressure coming up the middle. Burchard gets free. Looks to the far sideline and rifles it out. Incomplete. Kendrick Lackey, the man intended, 6'4" freshman. Burchard threw a fastball. He looked like a center fielder coming up trying to throw the man out at first base over on the baseball field there. 22.6 seconds to go in the half. 2nd and 10. Faulkner with 10 first downs to UPIKE's 11 in the opening half. Burchard with Jones on his left side, now moves him to the right. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Bears with 3 hats across the line. Rushing 3. Pressure coming off the edge. Burchard steps up, comes near sideline. Throws a wounded duck to the near side and finds his man there of Malik Murray, who catches it in front of the Bears bench at the 26. 19-yard gain, 1st and 10. Clock stops at 15.2 as he goes out of bounds. So about probably 5 to 6 more yards would put them in sure field goal range for Caden Davis, who punched one through from 38. Play clock's at 10. Burchard takes the snap at 4, wants to throw again. Good protection, pressure coming off the edge. He's got a man in the back corner of the end zone who reaches up and makes the catch for the touchdown. Damian Hitchcock, the 26-yard touchdown reception as Burchard throws his 2nd strike of the ball game. And with 8 seconds to go before the half, all of a sudden, we've got ourselves a contest here with Faulkner an extra point away from evening things at 17. Beautiful throw there from Nehemiah Burchard as he round the deep crossing pattern. And Burchard put it right on the mark. Extra point is true. 17 all with 8 seconds to go before half. Certainly not the way you want to go in if you're the UPIKE Bears. But that was a beautiful throw from Nehemiah Burchard. Now UPIKE will get the football to start the 2nd half, but a very big blunder on this last drive here. 3 plays, 45 yards, 20 seconds it took. And a 26-yard strike from Nehemiah Burchard to Damian Hitchcock. It's Hitchcock's 1st touchdown of the season, Burchard's 2nd, both of those coming here in this game. And we're even at 17 after the Bears were threatening to go into the locker room up 10. So the last 2 possessions for Faulkner using 6:54 off the clock. That goes with their opening drive of 6:36. So Jordan Browley will probably squib this one to keep it in play and force Baker to try to scoop it up and burn off what's left much of this 8 final seconds of the opening half. End over end kick. Baker backpedals, takes it at the 11 near side. Takes it off to the far sideline, 20. Big hole left side, 30. Across midfield, 50. One guy to beat and is chased out of bounds into the Eagles bench. But the time expires, and that takes us to the half. We got a penalty marker on the near sideline, though. We may play an untimed down here. There's a penalty marker at the 35-yard line in front of the Bears bench. So we'll see how this plays out, but we could have one untimed down and a chance for Kirkland to fire one heave. So they'll put 5 yards added on to the return. So that's going to put the football down to the 30-yard line, and an opportunity for the Bears to get some points on an untimed down here. You don't see this often. Untimed downs are not normal. But with the clock's Clock resting at 0. Let's see what Coach Corey Phipps has out of the backyard football playbook. This is where you throw some trickery or just try to set up something that you typically wouldn't run to find some confusion and see if you can get somebody free. So they'll line up Henson, Griffith, Barton near side. Hardwick will go far side of the boundary left. Sanders in the backfield with Kirkland from the 42-yard line, where they said that Baker stepped out at the 47, and then the 5 yards moved him forward. So now Coach Corey Phipps has his take it or leave it timeout remaining, so he takes a look at the defense that the Eagles roll out, gets a good look at it, and brings his team to the sidelines for one final conversation. All tied at 17 in this one. It was a 17-7 lead for the Bears, as it looked like they were starting to roll, and all of a sudden the Eagles found some momentum, and from that point were able to get a field goal, and then they added to that on the backside with a touchdown on their next drive. It took only 20 seconds to get in the end zone. So after UPIKE had grabbed the 17-7 lead, they turned it over on downs, giving the ball back to the Eagles with the short field, and it cost them dearly. So Kirkland from the Eagles' 42-yard line on the far side. Now they flip the set and put trips to the boundary left. Kirkland stands in the pocket, steps up, heaving a bullet toward the back of the end zone, trying to get up underneath it was Barton. It's knocked to the ground, incomplete. Swatting it away was Josh Taylor, and we're at the half. All even at 17 here in Pikeville. Halftime show when we return after this on the UPIKE Sports Network. All knotted at 17 as we get ready for the second half of play between UPIKE and Faulkner. James Carr, happy to have you along with us here on a beautiful afternoon in Pikeville here at the Hambling Athletic Complex and Hilliard Howard Field. Let's look at our individual numbers for the first half. We'll start first with Faulkner. 12 first downs. They go on the ground 25 times for 79 yards. They throw for 89. 5 of 12 in the first half for Nehemiah Broussard. He throws 2 touchdown passes. 37 plays, 168 total yards. 3 punts for 36 yards on the average. 4 out of 8 on third down tries. 1 of 1 on fourth down tries. And they've had the football for 18 minutes and 5 seconds. For the Bears, 11 first downs, 11 carries for 41 yards. 168 for Lee Kirkland through the air. 15 of 23. He's thrown 2 touchdowns. Both of those his first of the season. 1 punt for 40 yards. That was from Kirkland. 5 of 8 on third down tries, 62.5%. They failed on their only fourth down try that converted into 7 points on the other side for the visiting Eagles. Individual numbers, Jim Mays, 6 carries for 23 yards. Caleb Jones, 10 for 45. Nehemiah Broussard, 9 for 11. Malik Murray's caught 2 balls for 43 and a touchdown. Damian Hitchcock with the other 26-yard grab. Both of those touchdown grabs, the first of the year for the Eagles. Caden Davis has banged through a 38-yard field goal and both of his extra points attempt in the first half of play. Lee Kirkland, 15 of 23 for 168 and 2 touchdowns. He's rushed for 12 yards. Alex Sanders, 8 carries for 30 yards. Ben Henson, a big afternoon, 3 catches for 103 and a touchdown in his first half of play. Derek Griffith, 2 catches for 3. Braylon Barton, 8 catches for 43 and a touchdown. Sanders has 2 for 19. Jake Headley punched through a field goal and both of his extra points tries at the moment. And that's where we are as we get ready for the second half of action here on a very hot and, I don't want to say a hot day, just a warm day, but the way the clouds are setting up, it's very humid. My wife down on the field doing photography work, and she said that it's very hot on the field. We were around 80 degrees at kickoff. Real field temperature was closer to 90. Down on the field level on that turf, especially when the sun gets through those clouds, we're looking at excesses of 100 degrees. and that turf, the black pebbles that gives the turf its cushion and its bounce. That's the thing that heats up so much down there at field level. So certainly a war of attrition for the two teams as we get ready to start the second half of play. And the number that really jumps out at me on that stat sheet, the Eagles had the football for over 18 minutes of the first 30. That's not a good recipe for the defense. This Bears defense does not want to have to play another 18 minutes of the 30 of the second half and expect to try to get out of here with a victory. Bye week coming up next week for UPIKE. They'll bring in Union in 2 weeks. Reinhardt leading Cumberland's 14-10 midway through the third quarter. And we're ready for second half of action here. As Browley pooches it to the far side from the 20. Nice cut there by Derek Griffith. He'll get the 30-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bears to start the second half. Fourth meeting between these two programs. Last year, the Bears won down in Faulkner, Alabama, 36-22. They've won the previous 2 meetings between the two. Bears will start AAC conference action when they bring in Union in 2 weeks. So from the far side hash mark, 1st and 10 for Lee Kirkland from his own 30-yard line. He'll move Sanders to the left. They'll hand it off to Sanders on a sweep to the right. Finds a little hole. Dives through at the 33. A little extra shove there at the end by Jarrell Williamson, who makes the stop. A gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Maybe 4. Now make it 4. They'll push it out to the 34. So 2nd down and 6 from the Bears' 34-yard line. Sanders helping out Ronald Withers, his big right tackle there, trying to get his uniform squared away. Swings it out near sideline. That's to Derek Griffith, who makes the catch at the 40 and then is wrestled out of bounds into his bench. In there on the stop for the Eagles was Kalen Wimbush. Also with the assist, Darius Williams. But another 1st down for the Bears. They'll go twin stacked set. Kirkland from his own 45. Griffith goes in motion. They'll fake the pitch, bring it out near side. That's to Benson. Benson makes an inside move, gets to the midfield stripe, spins and is down inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. And another 1st down for the Bears on a nice move there by Ben Henson, as he is already over 100 yards in the first half and continuing to add to that number with his 4th catch of the ball game. Kirkland to take the give to Sanders with a big hole off the left edge, and he's headed to the house. He breaks free from the 30 and goes untouched the rest of the way. 44 yards to pay dirt. Alex Sanders' 4th touchdown of the season. 13:24 to go here in the third quarter. Bears back in front 23-17. Nice move there by Alex Sanders, and when he broke free at the 30, he was untouched the rest of the way on the dash into the end zone. So Jake Headley out for the extra point attempt. Nice response there by the Bears out of the locker room. Headley's extra point attempt bends in to the left. 24-17, 13:24 to go in the third. Back after this on the UPIKE Sports Network. 4 plays, 70 yards, 90 seconds the Bears need to get to the end zone. Alex Sanders takes it 44 yards to the house for his 4th touchdown of the season, and it's 24-17. Bears in front here early 3rd quarter. Pooch kick coming near sideline, and it's fielded at the 33. A nice move by the return man as he'll make the reception. That's Marvin Payton. Nice spin move in front of the Bears bench, and then gets up near midfield. So we'll see if the Eagles have an answer after the Bears needed only 90 seconds to regain the lead. So they'll start at the 43 on the near side hash mark. Offensive line already standing over the ball. Broussard huddled up with his coach and his team on the far sideline. Brings his guys out. He'll start with Jim Mays in the backfield. Clay Morrison as a wing back as the tight end. 2 receivers right, 1 left. The take, the give to Mays. Trying to bounce it to the right side. He'll get it out to the 45 on a gain of 2. Malona Poole, 6'3", 235-pound junior defensive lineman in there on the stop. Make it 2nd and 8. Missouri trying to pull off an upset at home today against number 15 Kansas State. All tied at 27 in that one. Sun dives behind the clouds on this 2nd and 8 snap. Blitz coming off the edge. Temp gets free, chasing from behind, and he's going to get to Broussard as he lets it fly and makes the catch on the other end with Jarvis Hardwick. A big hit there by Joe Temp on Maya Broussard as he delivered the pass downfield, and Hardwick was able to run underneath it and get it down to the 38-yard line. Temp slow to come back up as certified athletic trainer Lauren Curley starts across the way, and he'll jump back to his feet and meet her in between the hashes. So 12-16 on a stoppage here with an injury timeout for the Bears. 24-17, UPIKE in front. But Broussard there, if he holds on to that ball for 1 second longer, Joe Temp gets home. And right as he made contact with Broussard, Temp made the contact. Broussard threw a bullet on a low pass to Hardwick, and he scooped it up before it got to the turf on a great play downfield. So 1st and 10 from the Bears, 38 for the Eagles. Twin set for Broussard from the gun, and an offset pistol. He'll give it off to Mays, who finds a big hole left side and then is swallowed up as he comes off the edge by Anthony Grant. Brett Coleman coming in there, the sophomore from Belfry. They'll take him down for a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Hardwick going off, back in as Morrison. Jason Gaddis will be on the boundary left. Hitchcock and Murray wide right. Play clock's at 8. Eagles trying to get set. Bears with 5 hats across the line. Pressure coming off the edge. A rifled ball that goes right through the hands of Hitchcock. He was on a quick slant. He catches that when he walks in untouched. Instead, it's 3rd and 9. One thing with this freshman, he has plenty of arm. He has shown his arm off several times in this ball game. Clock stopped at 11:01 and a big 3rd down conversion attempt coming up for Faulkner. Pressure coming off the edge again. Broussard steps up, comes near sideline, pinballs off of a would-be tackler there of Anthony Grant. As Grant just tried to knock him off his feet, and instead it knocked him to the side, and he stays on his feet and moves the sticks for another 1st down. 14th first down of the ball game for the Eagles as it gets down inside the 30 to the 27. Broussard Only 185 pounds, but very strong right there as he took a big pop from Anthony Grant at 230 and stayed upright to move the sticks. Here's the take to give to Mays as he tiptoes his way into the hole across the 25 and gets stood up there after getting to the 23 on a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. So another good sustained drive by this Eagle team who trails by 7 as we'll go under 10 on this snap. Here at quarter number 3. Defense is going to have to find a way to force a turnover to get themselves off the field. Again, time of possession was nearly 2-1 in the first half. 18 plus for the Eagles. Broussard, play action. Fires it across the post. Was looking for Jarvis Hardwick, and it's incomplete, and a penalty marker flies on the back end. Karan Thrower was the man in coverage. Let's see if it's pass interference or a hold. It's going to be a pass interference. Now the officiating crew trying to decide where this ball needs to go.
Pass interference. Defense number 14. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Coach Corey Phipps not happy with that call there. I can see him animated from the sideline. So the 15-yard penalty takes it down inside the red zone for the Eagles. And should put it at about the 8-yard line, 8.5-yard line, just shy of the 8 is where it's going to go. So 1st and goal from the 8 for the Eagles. Last time they had it down this close, they ended up settling for 3. On 1st and 10, Mays takes the handoff, jumps off right tackle, and gets the 5. 2nd and goal from the 5. Chuck Moore, sophomore from Madison, Alabama, in on the stop. Far side hash mark. 9:15 to go in the 3rd. Bears in front by 7. Sun hiding behind the clouds for the moment. You can feel a difference in the air temperature as soon as that sun pops back out, and it heats things up very quickly. Broussard. The turn to give to his tailback, as that one is D. Grissom, who dives off the left edge of the center. They're going to put him down at the 1, so it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. Defense trying to roll some new bodies in. They'll go heavy up front. Here's Grissom, and is swallowed up shy of the goal line. Trayvon Barnett, the senior from John Creeks, Georgia, makes the stop. It's 4th and goal. Offense staying on the field for the Eagles. They've converted once on 4th down in this ball game. Now let's see if Rob Gray wants to roll the dice again. Down 7. As we'll go across the 8-minute mark here in the 3rd period on this snap. Play clock is at 12 as Broussard turns and looks to the sideline. Jim Mays in the backfield with him. Broussard will stay from the gun at the 1 on 4th and goal. The take to give. Broussard pulls it out, comes near sideline, gets a seal, and that one's coming back. They're going to get a hold on the wide receiver of Jason Gaddis. He did not need to reach out and grab the corner that he had. If he just lets it go, Broussard walks in untouched. Instead, it's coming back 10 yards. It'll be 4th and goal from the 11. And that's just a sophomore mistake there, trying to do too much. He was trying to give his quarterback an angle. His quarterback had already made the angle that he needed, and he had the pylon with ease. And if Gaddis just lets go, we're an extra point away from being even at 24. Instead, the offense stalls out, and they'll send Caden Davis back out for a field goal. Before we do that, we'll get a timeout by Faulkner. So the ball inside the 11-yard line, just shy of the 10. And like we said, it was going to be 4th and goal from inside the 1. So roughly coming up here around about a 38, 39-yard kick. Now check that. Let me back up here. We're closer than that. Probably looking at closer to a 38 to 30 or 28 to 29-yard kick. I looked at my markers wrong there on the field. My mistake. Right between the hash marks, a little shaded more toward the near side. And out of the timeout, the offense is coming back on the field. So Rob Gray, after the timeout, leaves the offense on the field. So no matter the distance of the kick, they'll go in a twin set. Mays in the left pocket of Broussard from the gun. Pressure coming off the edge. Broussard's going to be clobbered as getting home off the edge was Trayvon Barnett, his first sack of the season. As Broussard loses his lid, and the Eagles go down on 4th down as the Bears defense stands tall with a big hit by Trayvon Barnett off the edge. Broussard zigged, and when he went back to zag, all he saw was double four standing in his face. Missouri has upset number 15 Kansas State 30-27. So a top 25 upset already in the books as UPIKE will regain possession from their own 20. 1st down and 10 for Lee Kirkland. Here's Sanders trying to find a hole off the right edge, and there's nothing there. Great protection from behind in the pursuit by Samjai Washington, 5'10", 200-pound junior. No gain, loss of 1 on the play. Make it 2nd and 11 as they move it back to the 19-yard line. Trips left, 1 right. 4 hats across the line for the Eagles. Sanders from the backfield. They'll bring it back near sideline, and Derek Griffith drops that ball, and that was probably smart to knock that one down. That one almost looked like 6. As Cordell King made a break on the ball, and if he hauls that one in, it was untouched into the end zone for a pick 6. Clock will rest with 7:03 to go in the 3rd. 3rd and 11 coming up. Showing a blitz off the edge. Kirkland slows things down as Elijah McNeil centered back up as he was coming out of his linebacker position. Kirkland, blitz coming off the edge. Moving right. He's got his man near side, and trying to haul it in was Ben Henson. It was underthrown. Henson was open well before the pass, but by the time Kirkland found him, it was too late. Pass is incomplete at 4th and 11. So Joseph Sandorf ready to send it away as Gaddis and Ty Simpson back to return. Sandorf, driving kick, fielded by Williams at the 39. He loses the ball, grabs it back as Brett Bad Intentions Coleman levels him up at the 39-yard line. Nearly had a big play on special teams after they put the ball on the turf, but gets the perfect bounce right back up into his hands, and they'll take the football at the 41. So 24-17, 6:48 to play here in the 3rd. UPIKE leading. Amaya Broussard and his crew comes back out to start with Caleb Jones in the backfield. Hand off to Jones, trying to get to the right side, and he runs into a wall of orange jerseys. And he had nowhere to go there. Now, there's somebody wearing a jersey of 92 that is not on the roster. I was thinking the same thing. It's definitely 92. You can't miss the numbers. So a loss of 1 on the play. 2nd and 11 as we'll go across 6 on this snap here in the 3rd. Broussard, handoff. That's to Jones, spun down in the hole. Chuck Moore meets him there. Makes the stop. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, and they'll move him forward a yard to the 42. Makes it 3rd down and 9. Faulkner 5 of 10 on 3rd down tries today. Clouds really thickening up over top of the surface, as not supposed to see rain until later tonight. Bears showing 3-man rush. They bring a delayed blitz. Here's a ball to the far sideline. It's well over top of the head of Malik Murray. Karan Thrower, the man in coverage. Pass falls incomplete. It's 4th down and 9. So the punting unit will come on. Caden Davis will try to hang one as Braylon Barton moves back and gets inside the 25 of the Bears. So good stand there by the defensive unit. Now the offense can find some points on the other end and push this back into a 2-score game again. Quick kick end over end. Barton runs up, makes the catch, and gets plummeted to the turf as LeBrandon Graham makes the stop. Great job there by Barton to hang on to it after he was hit immediately after making the reception. So they'll have it at the 30. And 1st and 10 for the Bears from their own 30-yard line on the far side hash mark. 41 plays, 278 yards for UPIKE, 48 and 199 for Faulkner. Just looking for a big explosive play that's gone for 50-plus that we're missing here from this offense that has looked at times that glimmer of just well-oiled and ready to go, and then just as quickly as that happens, something goes sideways and it locks up. Here's Kirkland. Pulls it out. A nice play action as he pulls it out and keeps it himself. If Sanders keeps it, he's going to get drilled for maybe 1. Kirkland pulls it out at the last second on a little RPO there, brings it right side for a nice gain on 1st down. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Twin stack set for Kirkland. Sanders starts to his right. He'll give it to Sanders this time on a dive left. He's got 1st down yardage and more across the 45 to the 47. Gain of 10, 1st and 10. 15th 1st down of the ball game for the Bears. Sanders flirting with 100 yards on the ground today. He'll take another carry and go right up the gut. And he stood up after crossing midfield to get the 49, a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Sanders was actually lying on top of the man who made the tackle, Darius Williams. So inside of 4 to go here in the 3rd. 7-point lead for the Bears. Trying to drive down and find some more. Push this back to a 2-score game, Kirkland wants to throw on 2nd down. Pressure coming. Sanders streaking across the middle of the field. They'll float it out to him. Should it be a penalty marker flying? And there it is. Jarrell Williamson had him from behind as he tried to reach across and knock it down. But he had a handful of jersey of Alex Sanders, and the infraction is going to give UPIKE a free 15. Little drag route across the middle here. So 26 on 26, and it goes in favor of the home Bears. So they'll move the football down to the 39-yard line, and it's 1st and 10. Trips boundary right, one left for Kirkland on 1st and 10. Play clock at 3 as Kirkland zips it out near sideline. Derek Griffith makes the grab, gets upended right in front of his bench. Cordell King making the stop. Short gain on 1st down makes it 2nd down 8 on a gain of 2. Maybe 1. No, check it. Only gain of 1. Nope, then we'll move it up to the 38-yard line. So gain of 1, 2nd 9. Henson Griffith and Barton near side. Dasani Tate wide left. Kirkland pumps. Brings it out near side looking for Henson. He climbs the ladder but can't haul it in. Cordell King, the man in coverage, well overthrown. 3rd down and 9 coming up with the clock resting with 3:01 to play here in the 3rd. Looking for Kirkland to look right and come back left. Dasani Tate has got a small island over there as the man that's trying to play coverage on him is Elliott Shorter, and he is giving Tate all kinds of room in that far side flat. 3rd and 9 from the 38. Ball zipped out near sideline. A one-handed grab by Derek Griffith in front of his bench. He'll go out at the 34. It'll be 4th down, but a heck of a grab there by the graduate student out of Sacramento. Offense staying on the field. Bears 0 for 1 on 4th down tries, and that one try was right there to end the first half, and which led to points for Faulkner to even the game at 17 at the break. 4th and 5 from the 34. Floated ball near sideline. Griffith with a great grab at the 30, and he's short of the sticks. You've got to have the 29. He was forced out of bounds right into the Bears bench by Kylan Wimbush. They needed the 29. They get the 30. And a turnover on downs once again for the Bears. And that's just, you've got to know the route. You can't run a 4-yard route needing 5. So flip it around and give it back to the Eagles, trailing by 7, 2:20 to go here in the 3rd. Here's Broussard. Near side, zips it out to Lackey. Lackey sheds a tackle. Coleman wrestles him out of bounds. But a nice play on 1st down as the Eagles pick up their 16th first down of the ball game. And they'll take it out to the 42-yard line on a gain of 12. The take to give to the tailback. Into the gap he goes and runs into a wall of orange jerseys. Anthony Grant, the man who had him wrapped up. The carry was by Caleb Jones. Forward progress out to the 45 on a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Inside of 2 minutes to play here in the 3rd. Bears leading 24-17. Trying to even up at 2-2 on the season. They'll have their bye week next week and then Hall of Fame game the following with their conference opener in the AAC against Union. 2 receivers right, 1 left for Broussard. Pressure coming off the edge. Broussard lets this one go, and he's got his man in stride of Damian Hitchcock and loses his footing after making the grab at the 30. He gets down to the 31 and a gain of 14. And that time Broussard again let it go, looking at a big pop coming on the backside.
Number 15, Shepard on the tackle, placed it at their first down, Eagles.
Near side, Lackey makes the catch, gets free. Coleman will wrestle him out of bounds. He got loose from Timothy Butler, but down to the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal on a gain of 20.
On the catch, tackled by number 10, Brett Coleman for the Bears. Placed it at their first down, first and goal. Eagles.
So again, can the Eagles force a turnover on downs and convert it into 7 points? That's what they're looking at right here. Here's Broussard, play action, fires toward the end zone, and it's incomplete. Was looking for Jarvis Hardwick.
Pass is incomplete.
Karan Thrower, the man who knocked it away, second down.
And goal.
Clock resting with 17 seconds to play in the third. Bears still leading by 7, but the Eagles threatening once again. Jim Mays left pocket of Broussard. 2 receivers wide right, 1 left. Pressure coming up the middle. Ball comes near sideline. They've got the man there of Lackey, but a great open field tackle by Timothy Butler. It'll be third and goal from the 5.
Timothy Butler for the Bears.
If you're the Eagles, you've got to be thinking you've got to find points on this drive here. Can they find it? We'll see on the other side of the break. 15 minutes remain as we go to the fourth quarter. UPIKE 24, Faulkner 17 when we return here on the UPIKE Sports Network. Fifteen minutes to play in this one, and a good one as we welcome you back here to Pikeville with the Bears leading the Faulkner Eagles 24-17. It'll be third down and goal for the Eagles coming up on this snap. James Carr, happy to have you along with us here on what started off to be a sunny and hot afternoon has turned into a rather cloudy afternoon, has cooled things off tremendously for the fans in attendance here. 7th play of the drive coming up on this one. Eagles will drive it from the south end zone to the north, left to right as you view it on your screen. And this was the direction they scored their first touchdown of the ball game. Broussard on 3rd and goal. Here's the take to give to the tailback of Jim Mays going off left tackle. He'll get the 3. It'll be 4th and goal from the 3. And another big decision coming up for Rob Gray on the far sideline, and they're going to kick it.
4th down and goal.
So they don't want to come away with an empty trip on this drive. So this is going to be a 20-yard kick from the far side hash mark for Caden Davis.
Davis to attempt the field goal.
Boom threw a 38-yarder back in the second quarter. Snap is back, ball is down, low driving kick is good. And it's 24-20 with 4:13 to go in the ball game. Back after this on the UPIKE Sports Network. 7 plays, 67 yards, 3 minutes, 7 seconds. 20-yard field goal from Caden Davis. And the UPIKE leads trimmed to 4. 14-13 to go in the ball game. Jordan Browie ready to send it away. Kari Baker, who had a big return to end the half, is split in between Barton and Griffith. A little pooch kick comes near sideline, and cradle ball will reach up and down it near the 30. We get a penalty marker against the Eagles. So they'll add 5 yards from the spot of where the ball was down. So they'll move it up to the 36. It'll be 1st and 10 for UPIKE. 3 drives here in the second half. Touchdown, punt, and downs. Lead by only 4. Touchdown here would go a long ways. Here, this 4th and final stanza. Kirkland on 1st and 10. Tries to zip it out, and as he does, the ball comes out of his hands. Terry Brown, 6'2", 275, falls on top of Kirkland. It's going to go down as a loss of 6. Kirkland would have been better off if he would have just let the ball go to the turf, because maybe could have argued the Tom Brady rule, the empty hand, and ended up with an incomplete pass. Instead, it's a loss of, actually now a loss of 5 back to the 31. Eagles showing blitz. Here they come. Kirkland steps up in the pocket, hit as he throws, looking across the middle. He was trying to find DeAndre Stafford. The pass is incomplete. It's 3rd and long.
Third down.
First target of the ball game for Stafford. And the pass was just a little high and errant as Kirkland was hit as he threw. So 3rd and 15 from the 31. Kirkland, pressure coming up the middle, and he'll throw it with a player draped across his back. Derek Griffith had the catch in hand at the 45. It was still going to be short, but it would have been 4th and 1 from the part of where he dropped the football. Ja'Kai Stevens was the man who was draped across Lee Kirkland. So a very quick 3 and out for the Bears. Hands it back to the Eagles with 13:21 to go in the ball game. Jason Gaddis and Ty Simpson back for the return. Good kick. Gaddis backpedals. It'll tumble to rest at the far sideline and down at the 26. So the Eagles will take over on their own 26-yard line. 13:09 to go in the ball game. So the last 3 drives for UPIKE. 3 plays for -1 yards for a punt. 7 plays, 40 yards that went turnover on downs, and then 3 plays for -5 yards and another punt. So a chance for Faulkner to pull within 1 or take the lead on this drive if they can stick it in the end zone for 6. From the 25 of the Eagles, Broussard gives it off to Jones, diving left side. Balls comes out. That's loose, and the Bears have it at the 30. Anthony Grant making the fumble recovery. His first fumble recovery of the season, and a big turnover by the defense gives the offense a short field as they'll recover it on the Eagles' 30. Caleb Jones put it on the ground at the 27, and it squirted out of the pile, and Anthony Grant was there to pounce on it. So the defense finally forces the turnover, and gives an offense a chance to push this one back out of reach with 13:03 to go in the contest.
19, Grant on the recovery. First and 10, Bears.
Let's see if they go up top with a home run ball here. Henson and Griffith will go boundary right. Barton and Stafford left. And play clock's at zeros. So a 5-yard penalty puts the Bears behind the sticks to start this drive. So move it back to the 35, 1st and 15. Offense stays in the same set as they'll stack it up each way on a twin set for Kirkland on 1st and 10. Blitz coming off the edge. Kirkland fires it out to the far sideline. He's got Derek Griffith there that makes the grab, but he's going to lose yards as the Bears just continue to go backward on these quick screens. They're going to lose 3 on the play all the way back to the 38-yard line. So now 2nd down 18. They've tried this little bubble screen on the outside and for much of the ball game, and the Eagles have played it nicely. Their press coverage out on the edges, they're not giving a whole lot of room, to say the least. Here's a handoff, Sanders, and he is met immediately and wrestled to the ground as he runs into the arms of Ja'Kai Stevens, 260-pound defensive tackle. He'll get it down to the 37. 3rd down 17, 12 minutes to go in the ball game. (24-20), UPIKE hanging on for a 4-point lead. But their last 3 drives have gone punts and turnover on downs. Here's Kirkland, pressure coming. Wide receiver screen set up. They've got their man there of Sanders, and as he tries to make a cut shy of the 30, he loses his footing and goes down after a gain of 7. So they get back to the original line of scrimmage. So it's 4th down 10. And the offense, again, still staying out on the field. 0 for 2 today on 3rd down or 4th down tries. 6 of 13 coming into the ball game. Kirkland takes it on 4th and 10, stands in the pocket, fires a dart. He's got his man there, and it's broken up just at the end. What a recovery by Elliott Shorter. It was intended for Ben Henson, and Shorter gets his hand in and knocks it down on what looked to be a sure catch by Ben Henson just shy of the goal line. So a pair of punts and a pair of turnover on downs gives it back to the Eagles with 11:02 to play in the ball game and trailing by 4. Good-looking ball there by Kirkland. Maybe just a little tardy getting there. But Shorter made a heck of a play on that ball to get his hand in and knock it away. Mays on 1st and 10, dances into the hole. He gets driven backward by Jaquez Russ, graduate student out of Tarmac, Florida. Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd and 8. Bison Livingston in there on the stop as well. He's back in the ball game.
2nd down.
Ben Tate also back on the field after being shook up back in the first half. High snap. Broussard pulls it out, keeps it himself, tries to bounce it to the outside edge and gets knocked free. And then what was going to be a stop for a couple back to the line of scrimmage, he picks up 2, gets to the 34-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 6 with 10 minutes to play in the ball game. Anthony Grant leading the charge there for the Bears on the stop. They'll bring Malik Murray near side with Damian Hitchcock. That's the wide side of the field. Kendrick Lackey on the top of the set on the boundary left. 4 hats across the box, 6 in the line. The Bears bring 4 on the pressure. Burchard rifles it near sideline, and it's incomplete. Was looking for Damian Hitchcock. Karan Thrower was the man in coverage near midfield. Clock stops with 9:30 to go in the ball game, brings up 4th down and 6. And back comes the punting unit for the Eagles as the defense stands tall again. When you look at Faulkner's drives here in the second half, they scored a touchdown to answer they've had a punt, a field goal, a fumble, and now another punt. And this is an end-over-end kick. And what a hit, as coming untouched was Darius Williams, and he delivers a big pop on Braylon Barton, who holds on to the ball at the 35-yard line.
From down to the 35-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10. Bears.
So Dasani Tate and Braylon Barton bunched up on the wide side nearest their bench. Kirkland on 1st and 10 from the far side. Gives it off to Sanders with a big hole off the right side. A spin move at the 45. And is knocked off his feet there. Samijah Washington. And a 1st and 10 on the gain of 10. Bears want to go quickly.
Sanders has 100 yards. That's a school record for most 100-yard rushing.
Sanders with another carry as he goes for over 100 yards in the ball game on that last carry, and now holds the record for most 100-yard games in his career. Sanders gets spun to the ground, well, just toward the ground, as he got wrapped up underneath Emmanuel Olatane. They'll give him a gain of 1, make it 3rd down and 4. They need the 45 to move the sticks. They're at the 40 or at the 49 of the Eagles. So Alex Sanders now over 100 yards in the game. Came in 29 carries for 135. All that was on the first game of the season. Here's a ball rifled out to Griffith. He makes the catch, 1st down yardage and more. A man misses at the 40, and he takes him down inside the 30 for another UPIKE 1st down. Good ball there by Kirkland. Griffith hauls it in for the catch and moves the sticks as UPIKE takes it down to the Eagles' 28-yard line inside of 8 to go in the ball game. Kirkland on 1st and 10. The take to give to Tyrese Christensen, who dives off right guard and gets down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. 7.5 to go here. 4-point lead for the Bears. A touchdown would go a long way in this one. Trying to even up the season at 2-2 before exercising the bye week next week and in Union for Hall of Fame game in a couple of weeks to start conference play. Here's Christensen. Again, picks up a couple as he stood up just shy of the 20. Looks like they're going to put him at the 22-yard line. So make it 3rd down 4, 7 to go in the contest. Alex Sanders, 17 carries for 108 in the ball game, a touchdown. That 44-yard scamper that put the Bears back in front. Kirkland wants to throw it, zips it near side. He was looking for Barton on the quick slant, and it falls incomplete. Brings up 4th down. This would be about a 39-yard field goal attempt, 39-40 if they wanted to try to kick it here. For the moment, the offense staying on the field on this 4th down and 4 attempt coming up. Oh for 3 on 4th down tries today are the Bears. Play clock at 10 as Kirkland looks to the sideline. Sanders back in the backfield. Trips left, one right. Play clock at 4 for Kirkland on 4th down and 4. Here he goes. Looking near sideline. He's got a man there, and he throws it underneath, and it's incomplete. They said it skipped off the turf. Could we see our first challenge here by Coach Corey Phipps? They can challenge it. We do have challenging available in the AAC. Our officials come together. From this angle, it looked like it was a catch. The officials say no catch. Coach Corey Phipps is coming out saying he wants to challenge this. So 6:34 left to go in the ball game. And it is a turnover on downs for the moment. So Coach Corey Phipps challenges the play and the catch, and this is a big play right here. And this is one of those you have to challenge it. I'm just told from the field level it looked like it hit the ground first. We'll see if the officials see anything that we did not see from up top or the officials saw. So they've got a tent set up on field level, so the two officials come to there, and then they load up the screen and take a look at the replay to see what it is. For the moment, there's 6:34 to go in the ball game, and Faulkner has forced a turnover on downs unless it's overturned. And if it stays as it is, that's going to be 3 turnover on downs in the last 4 possessions for the Bears. They've had 5 possessions after the touchdown to start the second half that have gone punt, turnover on downs, punt, turnover on downs, and would be another turnover on downs here. Coach Corey Phipps is all the way down near that tent, standing at the 20-yard line. Yeah, the first replay at home. Didn't Coach challenge one in the season opener? I think he challenged one, but it was on the road. But yeah, first challenge here at home. So something they've added in this season of adding in the official review. Seeing a couple of fans from Faulkner standing down there on the fence, and they turned around clapping. They appeared that they got the call that they want, and reading the body language from Coach Corey Phipps, he is trying to plead his case, but they're going to lose this when defense is headed back out. As the ball is going to be said that it kicked off the turf for an incomplete pass. So they will lose the timeout as well. So 24-20, it still stays a one-score game. And here's our official review after the call.
Ruling on the field of incomplete pass has been confirmed. Cowboys charged with their challenge and a timeout, first timeout of the half. With first down to Faulkner.
So UPIKE loses their challenge and a timeout after the unsuccessful challenge on the play. So Eagles will take over on their own 22-yard line, down 4 with 6:34 to play in the ball game. So Nehemiah Broussard trying to move his troops downfield and cut it to 1 or take the lead late. The high snap, the give to Mays, going off left tackle across the 25 to the 26-yard line, a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Chuck Moore, sophomore out of Madison, Alabama, making the stop. Sun popping through the clouds. Some ominous-looking clouds hanging over the stadium for the moment, but blanketing the playing surface in sunlight for the moment, as most of the people in attendance either popping the umbrellas back up or bringing out the programs, using it as a visor shade. That quickly, the sun is back in as the second down handoff goes to Mays. And he's wrapped up low by Frank Baker, the senior out of Culver City, California, out to the 27, 28-yard line, depending on the spot. Looks like the 28, and that's where they'll go. A gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and 4. 5:30 to play in the ball game. A big third down conversion coming up for the Eagles. 5 of 13 on third down tries today. Coming into the contest, they were 4 of 14 in the season opening loss to Reinhardt. Big opportunity here for the defense to make a stand and get the football back with 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Here's Broussard on 3rd and 4. Wants to throw. Pressure coming off the edge. Steps up. Looking down the center of the field. Brings it near sideline and throws it away. Being chased by Frank Baker and Jay Arnold. Arnold, the sophomore from Douglasville, Georgia. So the defense stands tall once again, and it's 4th down and 5, and here comes the punting unit for the Eagles. You certainly don't want to hand the Bears short field in this position, but 5 minutes to go, your defense really has to dig in here and find a way to get the football back, needing a touchdown to take the lead. Kick is away, high kick. Barton will run in next, and he gets leveled, and the ball squirts free, but UPIKE's going to get a free 15 off of this one for fair catch interference, as the ball was probably about 10 feet ahead of Barton, and he got absolutely drilled at the 35-yard line. So they're going to say from the spot, so it's at the 37. So 15-yard penalty from the 37 will take it into Eagles territory across midfield. So should take it over to the 48-yard line of the Eagles. So 4:53 to go in the ball game. UPIKE has the football, leading by 4. And they'll start it on a short field with the football touching the 48-yard line of the Eagles on the near side hash mark. Henson and Griffith go far side. Stafford and Barton near side on the boundary. Four hats across the line, 6 men in the box. One high safety. And now penalty marker flies on the far sideline. We get a sideline warning on Faulkner.
Sideline warning against Faulkner. There's no yardage for this line.
We're warning you. Don't you ever do that. You have been warned.
So on 1st and 10 now, Kirkland gives to Sanders. Sanders with a nice move off the left edge across the 40. Ball comes out late, but he was already down. Faulkner believing they have the football, but Sanders was down as the football came out. Faulkner pointing, saying they've got the football, but Sanders was well down before the football came out. So give him the 37-yard line. And now we'll get a challenge flag from the other side from Rob Gray. And it's one of those kind of dire situations here of hoping for some fool's gold, if you will, of maybe they see something that ball was moving coming out, but it appeared as Sanders was down on the turf and the ball squirted loose on the back end. So for the moment, it should be a fresh set of downs. They needed the 38. They're at the 37. Coach Corey Phipps is all the way out on the field saying that, is this a challengeable play? So if it stands as it's played, was ruled down by contact, it's a first down.
Early on the field, as the runner was down prior to the ball coming loose, the Faulkner coach was challenging that the ball was fumbled prior to the runner being down. The play is under review.
So Faulkner is challenging the ball was free before it came out. So the officials will make a long trip back down to the officials' tent. Hadn't had a challenge in 2 games here this year, and all of a sudden, in the last 2 minutes, we've got 2. So 4:32 to go in the ball game, and what could be another big play that's going to be determined by replay. But we'll wait and see what we get. I'll look at the 2 fans from Faulkner down here as they kind of gave it away on the last play after the challenge was confirmed, to see if we're going to see this overturned. Unless they see something on replay that we couldn't see from this angle, it appeared that Sanders went down and the ground caused the fumble. So another big moment of this ball game. Started with a touchdown by Faulkner in the first quarter. Maya Broussard tossed a 24-yard touchdown to Malik Murray. 7-0 our score. UPIKE gets a Jake Headley 22-yard field goal and a pair of Lee Kirkland touchdowns from Ben Henson for 39 and Braylon Barton for 4. And it appears that the ball has, in replay, shown that it was coming loose as Sanders was going to the ground as the offense for the Eagles are taking the field. So Sanders with the turnover. So the team's trading turnovers here. So with 4:32 to go in the ball game, the Eagles get the football back at their own 35-yard line. You have to go back and think, too, how big is the 4th down try that Faulkner tried on 4th and goal from the 16 instead of going for the field goal at this moment. Here's Broussard. Comes near side, reverses, far side, and gets upended. What a big play there by Deej Savage. Sophomore from Las Vegas. Looked like he had been shot out of a cannon. Back to the 34 it goes on a loss. Make it 2nd and 11 on a loss of 1. Inside of 4 to go in the ball game. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Broussard wants to throw, stands in the pocket. Hit from behind and then knocked down. It was Ben Tate getting there first. Myson Livingston nearly reached the ball out of his hands. So it's going to be 3rd down and long coming up. As the Bears fans starting to get a little chippy with the Eagles fans in the stands. Fans coming to life here at Hambly. As it'll be 3rd down and 19, and we'll go inside of 3 minutes on this snap. Jay Arnold out there from his nose tackle position. Really getting things going, and then we'll get movement on the line. Jarrett Browning was moving quick, but Faulkner will burn the timeout before it goes in play. So 2:57 to go in the ball game. So again, let's take you back through the scoring in this ball game. As we mentioned, UPIKE took a 17-7 lead after the back-to-back Lee Kirkland touchdowns. Then in the second quarter late, with 1:18 to go in the half, Caden Davis bangs through a 38-yard field goal. And then with 8 seconds left to go, Broussard hits Damian Hitchcock for 26 yards. Extra point is true, and it's all tied at 17. Sanders goes to the house from 44 yards out to open up the third quarter. UPIKE leads at 24-17. Caden Davis gets a 20-yard field goal to open the fourth quarter. And that's where we currently stand at 24-20 as the sun has turned to clouds once again here in this one. So 3rd and 19 coming up. Five out of 13 are the Eagles here this evening. Broussard on a twin set. Pressure coming off the edge. Hit from behind and down he goes. That's Ben Tate, the graduate out of Spartansburg, South Carolina. Gets the big hit, and the defense stands tall again as they'll drop him all the way back at the 21, and it's 4th down. Ben Tate shook up on a play back in the first half, and he comes back and makes one of the biggest plays of the entire ball game there. Myson Livingston with good pressure as well. So now 2:20 to go. Faulkner out of timeouts. The Bears will need one first down, and they can put this one on ice. It'll tumble across the 50 and come to rest at the UPIKE 44-yard line. So 2:07 to go in the ball game. 4-point lead for the Bears. Basically needing one first down and call this one a victory and a 2-2 record going into conference play in 2 weeks. So the rule of the game here, hold on to the football. So here comes Kirkland and Sanders. Seven guys in the box. Check that, 8 guys in the box right now for the Eagles. Handoff Sanders. Both hands wrapped around the pigskin as he angles right and gets the 46 on a gain of 2. So apparently Faulkner still had one timeout remaining on the scoreboard. It was showing 0. So I'm just being told that where they won their challenge, I guess they had taken the timeout off the scoreboard and then did put it back up. So Faulkner has the one timeout now. 1:58 to go. Be 2nd down and 8 after the gain of 2 by Sanders, who's had a really good game back. $19 carries for 121 yards. School leader in carries and now 100-yard-plus games as he continues to rewrite the record books here in Pikeville. Tyrese Christian in the backfield now, replacing Sanders. They'll go with a 2 tight end set this time. The take to give to Christian off right guard. Pyle pushing in a rugby style. Kirkland's going to get in on a little bit of the action and tries to push him out to the 50. He'll get the 49. It'll bring up 3rd down. Faulkner cannot stop the football, and a first down here will end it. They need to get the football to the Eagles 46 to move the sticks. Let's see if the Bears used a timeout here as they run in some players late. Play clock's at 7, now 6. And they'll burn the timeout just before Lee Kirkland takes the snap. So 1:02 remaining. Ball at the Bears' 49-yard line. They need the Eagles' 46 to move the chains. They're 6 of 14 in the contest on third downs today. Both teams with 18 first downs. That's one shy of the Bears' average coming in of 19. '65 plays for 364 yards for UPIKE today, 67 and 266 for the Eagles. And the days of 85, 90 plays are gone in college football under the new system of where the clock continues to roll instead of stopping at the mark the spot. I talked with Coach Phipps, and I talked after the first game here. And he said that's something that was voted unanimously by the coaches, that they did not want that to happen, and then the league did it. And he said it's made a bad game. It's boring to watch. So 3rd and 5. Handoff Christensen. He's met at the 50. Rolled across to the 49. Making the stop was Chinkani Lewis. So inside of a minute to go, the Bears can take it down to about 15 seconds and burn a timeout, and then can kick it away. So the final play of the game is going to come down to what will be hopefully a good kick, and then a couple of defensive stands on heaves toward the end. So let's see if they're going to take the delay of game or if they burn the timeout. So the back judge did throw the penalty marker, but did the Bears burn the timeout is the question. They're talking back and forth to each other on the headset is what they're doing. So here's Joseph Sandorf that'll come out and try to kick this one away. And it is a delay of game. So they'll take the 5, which is not a huge thing. It actually gives Sandorf a little bit extra room to kick if he needs it, depending on how they want to go at this kick. You definitely want to keep this thing in bounds so the clock rolls. Don't kick it out of bounds for any means. So down by 4. And again, how big that 4th down and goal conversion that they had an opportunity to kick a field goal, which would have it at a 1-point deficit right now, is looming. And what could be the outcome of this one? Low snap to Sandorf. He gets it away. Sandorf tried to sell the collision on the near side. So they'll take it down inside the 20. There's 4 seconds remaining, so one final heave for Nehemiah Broussard to see if he can go downfield and get a PI or find somebody in broken coverage and a missed assignment and take it to the house for the win. So they'll put Brett Coleman and Karan Thrower back deep. I'd put them deeper than what they are. I'd put them back at their own 20. So they're going empty set for Broussard. He's going to try to chuck this one as far as he can with 4 seconds to go in the ball game. Pressure coming off the edge. Broussard rolling out. Pressure now from behind. Now reverses. Sound of the horn goes. He leaves this one off to the far sideline. It's incomplete. And UPIKE wins this one 24-20 and evens up at 2-2 as they go into conference play in 2 weeks with Hall of Fame game weekend against the Union Bulldogs.